In 1982, audiences were introduced to the world of Blade Runner. Based on the novel Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep by Philip K. Dick, it was set in a dystopian Los Angeles in the far-off future of 2019. Blade Runner shows us a world where synthetic humans, known as replicants, are manufactured by the powerful Tyrell Corporation, and are near as makes no difference, slave labor. The main character, Rick Deckard, played by Harrison Ford, is what is called a Blade Runner, someone whose job is to retire replicants and is tasked with hunting down a rogue group of these replicants who are bent on meeting their maker Eldon Tyrell in a bid for longer life. In 2019, a follow-up to that film, Blade Runner 2049, set 30 years after the original film, we follow the character Agent K, played by Ryan Gosling. A replicant himself and a member of the LAPD, he is what Rick Deckard had been before him, a Blade Runner, tasked with retiring his own kind. Blade Runner is considered to be one of the most influential films in the history of science fiction, and it has inspired numerous films of that genre ever since. And as inspirational as the film is, the most memorable piece from that movie, besides the outlandish and bizarre wardrobe of the 1980s idea of the future, is a gun, particularly this gun. Often called the Deckard blaster, it is most commonly known among Blade Runner fans simply as the PKD. A name coined by prop replicator Rick Ross, it is intended to be a short form of Steyr-Flieger Katsumata Series D, but is actually intended to honor the author of Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep, and is actually just the initials of Philip K. Dick. Made from two separate real-world firearms, the Charter Arms Bulldog revolver making up the main part of the weapon, with the receiver and part of the trigger group of a Steyr-Mannlicher 222 model SL rifle becoming the upper component. And while the props from the original film are in the hands of collectors, replicas of varying quality have been made by many different people for decades. Recently, I was at Prop Store for the Blade Runner 2049 auction and got a chance to get my hands on the original screen-used Hero Blaster. And then shortly after that, my friends at Paragon FX sent me one of the best replicas I've ever seen. So this is the Blade Runner blaster, the Hero Deckard blaster from my friends over at Paragon FX, who were kind enough to send one to me. Spoilers, I already opened it, but it is absolutely gorgeous. And I love the way it's packaged. It's a very high quality box that it comes in. There's my certificate of authenticity. This is number 475 of 1,000. This was a neat little detail that they added in. This is some of the art from the film, but it's breakdowns of how to operate it, because it does have batteries, but then a whole parts breakdown, all of it in, I believe, Japanese, and then the different engineering drawings of the different parts of the firearms that they were built from. So it's a lot of little details that just add to all of the stuff that comes with this. That's not what you want to see. What you want to see is underneath this. And that is absolutely gorgeous. It is all metal and resin. It weighs about as much. It feels like a live firearm, honestly. It's absolutely phenomenal. And the lights on it work quite well. The magazine for this actually comes out, and that's where your battery is kept. Everything on it functions except for, of course, firing, because it is completely non-functional. The cylinder does open, and you get these absolutely beautiful machined cartridges, as you would guess, all go into the cylinders, just like a real firearm does. This is very clearly not con-safe, because it is far too accurate. And then you have this absolutely beautiful Blade Runner blaster, or whatever it is you want to call it. It does have many names, but it has the wonderful resin grips, and it is quite truly one of the most iconic firearms from sci-fi history, though it is actually seen on screen very little. And of course, the folks at Paragon, they went to great pains to make this thing as accurate as possible using the original tooling that was used for Blade Runner 2049, which they had access to. And it's a fantastic piece. It's a wonderful addition to the collection. And after having looked at this and having seen a couple of the real Blade Runner blasters from the film Blade Runner 2049, I have to say it's well worth the price. It is an absolutely beautiful replica and probably one of the best I've ever seen. And I've seen the higher end Tomonoseke blasters. If that's how it's pronounced, I apologize if that's incorrect. I think this one is better. I really do. The function is there for everything, including this never used on screen, but this upper receiver from a Steyr Mannlicher 22. I believe it was 222 was what it was chambered in. And I think, if I remember correctly, this was supposed to be for taking out replicants, but they changed that and they never ended up using it. But just one of the most iconic pieces from sci-fi history, the Blade Runner blaster from Paragon FX. If you want to find out more about it, the link directly to this is below. Get your hands on one, because there are only 1,000 of these hero models available, and they have sold quite a few of them, and I can see why. They're absolutely gorgeous.